Imagine a sports car that blends timeless design, razor-sharp handling, and a price tag that once made owning a Porsche a realistic dream for the everyday enthusiast. Enter the Porsche 944, a forgotten icon of the 1980s that redefined what it meant to drive a front-engine masterpiece. With its perfect 50/50 weight distribution, turbocharged variants capable of outpacing supercars of its time, and a legacy steeped in both racetrack glory and pop culture allure, the 944 isn't just another classic. It's a driving experience waiting to be rediscovered. The early 1980s marked a pivotal era for Porsche. The iconic 911 was thriving, yet it was evident that the market demanded something different. A car that could balance Porsche's racing pedigree with everyday usability, and, more importantly, come with a price tag that appealed to a broader audience. The Porsche 944 was born from this vision, and though it lived in the shadow of its older sibling, its impact on the automotive world was profound. The Porsche 944 was unveiled in 1982 as the successor to the 924. While the 924 had its charm, it was often criticized for being underpowered and too reliant on Volkswagen components. Porsche took this feedback seriously and used it as a blueprint for the 944. Unlike the 924, which utilized an Audi-sourced engine, the 944 featured a Porsche-designed 2.5-liter inline-4 engine. It was essentially half of the 928's V8, making it a true Porsche powerplant. This engine was smoother, more powerful, and felt distinctly Porsche. With 143 horsepower in its base form, the 944 delivered a spirited performance, but it was the balance of its chassis that truly set it apart. The 944 boasted a perfect 50/50 weight distribution, achieved through its front engine, rear-wheel drive layout paired with a rear transaxle. This configuration made the 944 incredibly agile and stable, whether it was carving through mountain roads or taking on tight corners at the track. Enthusiasts often described it as one of the best-handling cars of its time, a sports car that didn't just deliver speed but also a sense of control that inspired confidence in the driver. Design-wise, the 944 was unmistakably 80s Porsche. It shared some styling cues with the 924, but its wider fender flares, pronounced stance, and iconic pop-up headlights gave it a distinct identity. The interior was equally appealing, with a driver-focused cockpit that combined functionality with luxury. Analog gauges, comfortable bucket seats, and premium materials created an environment that felt both sporty and refined. While the base 944 was a revelation, Porsche wasn't done yet. In 1985, they introduced the 944 Turbo, also known as the 951 in certain markets. This version featured a turbocharged 2.5-liter engine that produced a staggering 217 horsepower, later increased to 250 horsepower in the Turbo S model. With this upgrade, the 944 Turbo became a legitimate performance car capable of sprinting from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 5.7 seconds, a figure that put it in league with some of the most revered supercars of the era. It wasn't just fast, it was sophisticated. Porsche incorporated advanced technologies like a reinforced gearbox, upgraded suspension, and improved aerodynamics, making the 944 Turbo as much a grand tourer as it was a track weapon. The success of the 944 wasn't limited to its performance. It became a cultural icon, appearing in films, television shows, and video games that cemented its place in the 1980s zeitgeist. Yet, despite its popularity, the 944 was always overshadowed by the 911. Purists often viewed it as not a real Porsche, dismissing its front-engine layout as a departure from the brand's rear-engine heritage. However, this perspective ignored the 944's remarkable engineering achievements and its role in keeping Porsche afloat financially during a tumultuous period for the company. By the late 1980s, Porsche continued to refine the 944 lineup. The 944S and S2 variants introduced naturally aspirated engines with increased power, further bridging the gap between the base model and the Turbo. The 944 Cabriolet, released in 1989, brought open-top driving to the lineup, adding another layer of versatility to an already impressive car. Despite its success, the 944's production run came to an end in 1991. Porsche replaced it with the 968, a car that carried forward much of the 944's DNA but struggled to capture the same level of acclaim. Over its 9-year production span, more than 163,000 units of the 944 were sold, making it one of Porsche's best-selling models at the time. Today, The Porsche 944 occupies an intriguing space in the classic car world. Once criticized for being entry-level, it has grown into a respected and sought-after collector's car. Its timeless design, exceptional driving dynamics, and relative affordability make it an attractive option for enthusiasts who want to experience the magic of a classic Porsche without the exorbitant price tag of a 911. However, owning a 944 comes with its challenges. While the initial purchase price may be reasonable, maintenance can be costly. The car's complex transaxle design and aging components often require expert care, which can add up quickly. Still, for many, the joy of driving a 944 far outweighs these considerations. The Porsche 944 represents more than just a car. It's a story of innovation and perseverance. It's a reminder that Porsche's legacy isn't confined to the 911 but extends to a diverse range of models that push the boundaries of what a sports car could be. Whether you see it as a gateway to Porsche ownership or a masterpiece in its own right, the 944 is undeniably a car worth celebrating. In the end, the Porsche 944 is more than just an 80s icon. It's a symbol of Porsche's ability to adapt, innovate, and create vehicles that resonate with drivers across generations. So, the next time you see one on the road or at a classic car show, take a moment to appreciate this forgotten legend, a car that quietly shaped the future of sports car engineering and delivered pure driving pleasure to those lucky enough to get behind the wheel. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Porsche 944, don't forget to like this video to show your support. Share it with fellow car enthusiasts who appreciate automotive history, and subscribe to the channel for more captivating stories about iconic cars. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload.